So in your history, like I know for me, one of the things that I find pretty difficult is that, I try to take on an intern or two every year, every couple of years. I try to get them whenever they're in their junior, senior year, just
Yeah.
to kind of train them up, teach them how to not be that new useless guy whenever they actually get to whatever company they
Sure.
get to after they grow up.
Sure.
How does somebody get into? It used to be that you could, there were so many people that were on the floor. They'd have runners. There were
Yeah.
all these different things. How does somebody get into trading now? It just seems like it's almost
Yeah.
like you'd have to know somebody to get in, to be involved in any kind of trading. And
Yeah.
people tend to have this problem that they actually think that all of us do the same stuff. Like, yeah, I trade. I literally have my finger on the trigger. I'm on the box.
Right.
Yeah, it's great, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's not commodities is different than fixed income.
Yeah.
Different for everything else.
Totally.
But trading is still trading.
Yeah.
And how do you know if you have that personality? And if you did have that personality, and you probably might be good at it, how would somebody
Get
start
involved.
that? How would somebody do that?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I mean, I think the fact that all of these sort of pay to have a chance to be a prop trader companies have popped up over the last 10 years goes to show that there is a market for this. Companies that launch that say, okay, you pay a fee, you take our classes, we're going to train you on our platform, and then you're going to trade, and if you lose a certain amount, we're going to cut you off. But if you start to make money, we'll fund an account for you, and then you get a profit share. I mean, there's an entire industry built around this. So if you are just a really apt market technician, and you think you have your head screwed on nice and tight, and you want to start from the bottom with no connections, that's probably one potentially viable way to do it. I would say the failure rate there is probably pretty high, but not to say it couldn't be done. I think that these companies, they're responding to a need in the marketplace. But for just kind of sharing what I've seen at Blockfills, that's a difficult proposition to try to take on, because there are so many similarities between our business and, say, like the legacy FX option business, that for a company like us, we would want people who have experience in that market. And the people who have experience in FX options, for example, they've been at this for 10, 20 years. So it's the operationally, we need smart minds, we need developers, we need people good at process, we need people to help make things more efficient, and help the company coalesce and be better. But from an actual trading perspective, we're either looking for the types of people who are like algorithmic, have quant backgrounds, or people who have like very strong FX backgrounds and relationships.
It's helpful to have math skills
Math
to
skills?
trade, to be able to trade.
One would think, yeah. So there's a very active sort of technology-driven part of our business that does a lot of cross exchange, trading and arbitrage trading, and it's so to be involved in that, you obviously have to have a certain pedigree.